example 10 representing a program on the checkout system of a supermarket. So, a checkout system is a process and technology that enables customers to pay their purchases. In our checkout system program, we were tasked to form an IRI to store an item's name, price, and stock. So we created two IRIs, one for storing items in the inventory and one for storing items in the chart. Normally, an array is used to list attributes of the same data type. In this case, name, price, and stock are of different data types. This is where the struct comes in because that's its purpose to bring attributes of different data types but related. For struct item, it is given the attribute item ID and item name as strings, price as float, and stock as integer. Struct item I is for the inventory. For struct chart item, it is given the attribute item ID and item name as strings, price as float, and quantity as integer. These two arrays are each given a limit on its size to manage the inventory and charts. For struct item, it is given max item from line 5 setting its limits to 17. From line 5 max item, it serves as a constant with a value of 17. So for struct item, it means 17 products along with their ID prices and stocks can be put in the array.
So I'll take it from here, explaining the functions that we use to display the product and that of the cart. So the first one here is the display inventory table function. Its purpose is just to display the product in the inventory. And the parameters are the struct item array and the item count. The item count holds the number of items in the inventory. Yeah, that's the maximum number, that's 17. It has been formatted in a way that when we run the code, it will showcase the product in the inventory in a tabular manner. It makes it easy for the customer to read. In the column, we have the item ID, the item name, price, and stock. And we made a loop for it. Yeah. Okay, so we move on to the display cart function. As it also displays the product that has been purchased by the customer in his or a shopping cart. We gave it the parameters struct count array and the cart count. It holds the number of items that have been put in the cart by the customer. It has also been formatted in a tabular form which displays the item ID, the item name, and the price and the quantity. So I'll run it for us to look at the way it will work. So that's it. So when the customer inputs, okay, item number 3, that will be a keyword. Okay, so quantity, we make it 12. So that's it. So when the customer clicks more, okay, so that's it. That's the final code. That's how it works.
Okay, so I'll be taking over the explanation for the cart item addition and the inventory update. So the job of this part of the code here is that it's for adding items from the the supermarket's inventory to the customer's shopping cart, just like how when you go to any supermarket, you just take a product from the shelves, then you just add them to your shopping cart before you send them to the cashier for purchase. So the parameters, so what we use here is a function called add item to cart, and the needed parameters that we gave to it for it to work is the struct item array, which holds the product along with the ID, the name, the name, stock, and the the price. We also gave it the item count since it holds the number of the items in the inventory. And there's also the struct item array. This represents the customer's shopping cart. There's also the cart count. The cart count will serve as the tracker of the number of the items that the customer has that placed in his or her cart. And there's also the item ID and the quantity of the product. Okay, so what the code will do is that with the for loop from line 58 to line 75, it will iterate or set through the inventory array. So the input from the input, the customer will be asked for the item ID of the product he wants to purchase. So when he gives that input, the code searches for that item ID in the inventory to match with that of the customer. If he finds it, then it will check if the quantity that the customer is requesting for is enough in the stock. In line 60, you can see here stock of the inventory array greater than the quantity. If it is, then the stock is reduced by the purchase quantity of the customer. So the inventory is updated with the product stock being reduced. Then the item ID, the name, the price, and the quantity of that product is copied into the cart array. It's copied into the cart array. Then the cart count is incremented, indicating that this and a product has been added. So yes. Then when that happens, then it gives a message confirming your addition of the cart and give you the total cost of that item that you bought. Yes. Then in another case whereby, like, let's say the customer gives the ID in which it matches the inventory, but there's not enough stock for it. So in the else part statement, it brings out not enough stock for the product in line 70 here. And in another case whereby the item ID that you gave is not in the inventory, then in line 77 it brings out item not found because it's not in the inventory there. Okay, so let's run the code to see how it is done. So you can see here that you'll be asked the question, the item ID, what you want. So let's say laptop. The item ID of laptop is 1. Then I want to purchase 5. Then it gives me this, added 5 laptops to your cart with the total cost there, and asking me, do you want to continue? So when this happens, because 5 laptops have been added to your cart, now the stock from the inventory is being reduced from 10 to 5. So let's try buying it again. So I press Y to continue my shopping. I press laptop again. For laptop again, 5. It gives me 5 laptops added. They ask me, do you want to continue? And I say yes again. So let's go for laptop again, then 5. So now it gives us not enough stock because now it has been updated that I bought all the 10. I bought all the 10 laptops. So there's not enough stock for me to buy another 5. So that's how it is. And also, yes, so it's updated. Okay, so we come to the int main function. So the int main function initializes the struct item array with the sample data in it. So the sample data are arranged in a way that they'll be fit in their respective category. So you have here item ID. Here we have item ID, item name, price, and stock in the struct item array. So the sample data are arranged according to that this category. So you can see here, item IDs, they are one in strings, just like they are numbers. Item names, the prices with the decimals, and the stock in integers. There's also the struct cat item array here, the mask cat giving, which is the 15 in here, which is the constant here in line 6 with making it 15. And there are some variables there with giving some values. You have the cart count, which is used in the add item to cart. The item count here also marks item, which is 17. Then item ID, we have the item ID, we have the quantity, and we have the float. We have float here, the total. So that this is representing as all the costs of what you purchase. The new total is what will be used for the discount and the rate. So the discount and rate is what's going to be used to find a new total if it exceeds a certain amount, and that was 5,000 Ghana cedis, which will be later discussed in the video. And here you can see the name of the shop, Boogie PC Shop, giving a salutation, hello customer.
Okay, so this part of the code handles the processing of accepting items ID from the customer and validating whether those IDs are recognized by the system. Okay, so the dual loop is used to repeatedly prompt the user for the item ID until they indicate they are finished. This ensures the customer can apply multiple items to their purchase. The dual loop will execute at least once and then will continue executing as long as the condition at the while part is met. So the printf gives the question, what would you like to purchase, giving the option enter ID or -1 to exist. Okay, so with the if condition, it checks if the input given by the user is equal to -1. If it is, the break statement executes, stopping the loop. In the else if condition, it checks if the input given by the user is not equal to either 1, 2, 3 or up to 17. If it is not, the printf statement gives item not found with the question, do you want to continue? Choices Y for yes and N for no. The input is then taken in the choice variable in the scanf statement. Okay, so we are about to run the code. So let's run the code. It's given as item not found because the item ID given by the user is not recognized in the system.
So taking it from where Evans ended it, this part handles quantity input, stock, checkout, checks, adding items to the cart, displaying the cart, and applying a discount of the total. Exceed a certain amount. It is the core of the checkout process. So after the checkout process, you thereby go to the steps. Then so you're starting, go to the printf. So printf, enter quantity, scanf, percentage d, comma, ampersand quantity. Okay, so this prompts the user to enter the desired quantity of the selected item and read it into the quantity variable. Okay, check stock availability. Okay, so for the check stock availability, it initialized a flag to track if the item was found and if there's insufficient stock. Okay, this loop for line 147. Okay, so this loop iterates through the inventory array. Okay, if the item is found, this checks if the requested exceed available stocks. If there is not enough stocks, printf not enough stock, display an error message. Printf, do you want to continue shopping? Okay, So if the user enter, I want to continue shopping. From the user to continue. Okay, so with the line 159, it calls the addition to cart function. If there is sufficient stock, adding the item to the cart array, updating the stock and the total price. So with the line 167, it calls the display what? Cart function, displaying the items in the shopping cart. So okay, so with the discount logic, if total greater than 5,000, this checks if the total exceeds 5,000. If it does, discount is equal to total times rate. Therefore, calculate the discount into bracket. That's 10% as implied by the prompt. Okay, so new total is equal to the total discount. Okay, so calculate the final total after the discount. So therefore we print if you have been offered a discount of 10%, your new total. So display the discount total. If not, printf your total cost is Ghana Cedi percentage 12. That's display the regular total. Okay, so printf thank you for shopping with us, return 0. That means display a thank you message and ends the program. So okay, so now let's run the code to see how the discount and the stock availability works. Okay, so running of the code. Okay, so we go run. Okay, so hello customer, what would you like to purchase? Okay, so it is asking the buyer to enter what he or she want to buy. So okay, let's say the buyer wants to buy a laptop. So with the item ID 1. Okay, so with the item ID 1, you press 1, press enter. So enter the quantity, and with the quantity, that means enter the number of laptop you want to purchase. Okay, so let's say the user wants to purchase let's say 50. 1, 5. So enter. Okay, so since there are not enough laptops in that inventory, with the total number of laptops in the inventory is 10. That's the stock. In the stock, there's only 10 of the laptops there. So the buyer is wanted to buy 50, but since there's only 10, there's no enough stocks, or there's no enough laptop there. So let's see, he said, do you want to continue shopping? So yes. So let's why enter. So what would you like to purchase? So it asks the user that what do you want to purchase. Okay, so let's say the same laptop. So 1. Okay, enter the quantity. So since the buyer know that okay there are less laptop there, so now we are going for 5. Okay, so let's say 5. Enter. So do you added 5 laptops to your cart. So the total cost is Ghana Cedi 6,000. That means buying 5 laptops in that inventory or in that company will cost you 6,000. That's the total cost of the laptop. That's the price of the laptop. Okay, so do you want to continue shopping? Then press N. That says no. Okay, so now you have been offered a discount of 10%. Your total cost is Ghana Cedi 5,400. Thank you for shopping. So now the company is trying to tell you that you have been offered a discount of 10%, and now your total cost is Ghana Cedi 5,400. Thank you for shopping with us. So